Hello, 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 and welcome back to the second paradigm. Woo!
Wow. That's quite the intro.
Yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool.
Quite the intro. So we have our old chat up.
Yeah, well, that's still
And
the
then-
new chat. It's just all the same chat, and it continues.
It's a continuation.
Well, we have a new soundbite
That's
from our
true.
community only live that we just did, which is very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome in, Nick, everybody. It's Nick.
Wait till they get a load of me.
It's Nick.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Oh, I'm
We're
hearing
playing
us in
Twilight.
our other live there. There we go.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Okay.
Do you feel like you have to perform?
I don't feel like I
Or-
have to perform.
Do you feel like you must?
No, I feel okay.
Okay.
I feel okay. I just still don't. I don't really feel like I have too much today. And Miriam wants to prove me wrong.
Well, I just feel like these are the best kind of conversations when there really isn't much. You know, it's like when you're going to therapy and you're like, I don't think I need to go anymore. And then you go and you have like another
What, like a breakthrough?
new layer or something, you
Mhm.
know? Should we just end the stream now?
No.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
I was just doing some admin work
Oh, okay. I know.
in the
I know.
background.
Yeah.
Let me get my cup. Just right here.
Okay. Very far. I don't know. I feel like there's a bunch of stuff we could talk about.
I mean, we started doing some videos.
That's true.
We could watch some of them.
That's true.
I don't know that I really want to do that, but we could. We could. That's a fun thing. I think generally I'm feeling like there's a push for us to make more videos.
Mhm.
Certainly. I think I'm still figuring out like what our format is and what our feel is and what we want to get
Yeah.
across.
Mhm.
But I do have this sense that not monitor us so I can. It's messing me up a little bit. Or well, will you be able to hear me?
I'll just go like this.
Maybe that's fine.
Mhm.
Even that's fine. Or let me turn this off.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe that's a little bit better.
I can't hear myself at all.
You can't hear what?
Myself at all.
You can't hear yourself?
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah, because I turned our monitoring off.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to put it back on?
I kind
Is
of
it
like
better?
it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's messing you up? You have a hard
It was
time?
messing me up a little bit. I'll just have to get used to it.
Okay. Pulling the feed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just don't know exactly what we're being called to create, I guess. But
Oh.
I do have this general sense that it's like showing people the intuitive lifestyle more than it is like the teaching the intuitive lifestyle. Like I think it's easy. I mean, it's still confronting for me, but it's easy enough to sit down and like teach concepts, but they feel kind of ungrounded. Like there's not
Right.
this like we can say like life is when life gets challenging, you have to trust your intuition, and that like
Mhm.
kind of means something. But then like for us to go through a challenge and to film it or to like highlight the challenges of our life or to tell stories about it
Right.
and then like show the decisions that we made, I think is cool.
Yeah.
I think it like drives home the point. It's like, oh, like that. Like I didn't realize it was that kind of difficulty or that kind of
Mhm.
like confrontation internally.
Right.
So I think that's what I'm trying to parse through right now is like
Yeah, I think the concepts get lost when you're actually in the thick of it.
mhm.
And-
Everybody knows. When it snows, I skied in and it froze.
Love KSI.
hmm
I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows.
Oh, keep going.
No, I don't know the rest of it.
They know me where it snows. I skied in and they froze. 40-something millisubs or so I've been
Been told.
From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. Where's my crown? That's my bling. Always drama when I ring.
Careful, he might get us. That was too good.
Yeah, thank you.
How Copyright stricken. Yeah. But when people are in the thick of it, I don't think the concepts really stick. And I think it's easy for people to dismiss like, oh yeah, well, I mean, of course I trust myself, except for like, well, I can't because I'm gonna run out of money. It's like, wait, what? Then you're not trusting your intuition. You can't have all these exceptions, but then claim that you're an intuitive person and not be actually embodying
I agree.
and living it. I mean, I guess you can, but then you're just lying to yourself and me.
And me.
And me. Well, because they tell me.
Yeah. Still tweaking our audio a little bit.
That's fine.
I'm watching our levels.
Because
we actually haven't done live with this, I don't think.
No, we haven't. I think it sounds fine.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
think
hear
so
the
too.
furnace. Like it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But the audio that they're hearing is even cleaner than this.
Oh, okay. And I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Aside from teaching concepts and more so teaching about, I want to get more comfortable, and I know I'm going to fade
I tightened
away.
this. So you have to just move the arm up and down and stuff.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, concepts is tough. And concepts is hard for me to understand too. Like it reminds me of like being back in school and like highlighting the word and then memorizing the definition. But then when it comes to your lived experience, it's like, this isn't translating. I know it's helpful. Yeah. I think the easiest way to really learn about the second paradigm is to work with us. Like that's really it. Like you have to get in there and you have to like live your life as it's going. And then we have to be helpful in those moments.
Do you know what's funny? I wrote a thing last night, actually.
You want to get your iPad?
It's all the way down.
That's okay. You want me to get it? I have to pee.
If you want, but I can just pull this up.
Is it on here?
Yeah, all my notes are on here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, this is linked up to my
Yeah, tell us. You wrote a
iCloud.
thing? I have to pee. Man.
You can pee, that's fine.
Right now?
Pee.
Right here? In the chair?
Yeah, it's in my hand. And then I'll throw it in the trash can right there. Yeah, I wrote a note called Our Mentorship Modality.
That's great.
Well, because I was thinking about videos and the second paradigm in general, and then like what our business looks like, and like money and charging for things, and like our programs and our courses and things that we want to do. And
I know, I feel like I don't really know how to do any of it.
I know.
In a way that's like actually aligned and true.
I know.
Like we can cookie cutter it and copy paste and do what everybody else does, but like that's not it. Because it has to be like so aligned, like actually on their end too. It's not. It's not just a transaction where we like teach you some concepts and then you pay us money. Like that's not what
that's what I was.
for.
That's what I was trying to hash out. Is like.
That's cool.
I think at the end of it, we always say this thing, but it's like just putting them all together and then like really sitting and thinking about it. Like what's the role of mentorship in a world where your evolutionary growth, everything that you're going through is between you and God. It's between you and your reality. It's already happening in your circumstances, right? Like there's no roadmap that some personal development person or us or anyone can give you that'll teach you how to be more of you as the soul.
Right.
There's plenty of roadmaps that can teach you to like how to make 7 figures, how to become a professional, how to interview well, how to get a job. And, you know, there's plenty of that. And there's so many paths that are so formulaic. Like you can just plug and play.
Yeah.
And you can become a lot of different people.
Yep.
And what I was writing at the beginning of this is like the whole personal development industry seems to be built around that. Like it's like everyone's showing the best of who they are, like, and they're like putting themselves on display and saying like, don't you want to be like me? And if the answer is yes, because you're feeling insecure, then they can teach you how to be like them.
Right.
But the problem is you get there and you're like, oh, I don't really want to be them. Like I'm morally at odds with who they are.
Yeah, because you're bound to find something.
So then the question is like, okay, how do I become more of me? And that's tough because you have to look at your actual life. But what we're teaching at the second paradigm, it's this idea that your growth, how you become more of you, is by engaging with your actual circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Like God's already trying to do that in your life. The organizational intelligence of reality is already trying to bring your attention to, at the very least, but also orchestrate some circumstances around that to create a conflict inside of you between something in your body and something in your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And more than likely, something in your body is running like a program, and there's this predefined trajectory. There's who you're going to become if that biological piece of you runs the show.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's pretty irrational. It's ungrounded. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't track. It doesn't work. It doesn't function. It leaves you feeling like you're in a perpetual prison forever.
Mm-hmm.
But like you just have to. These are things you got to do to make money. These are things you got to do to get by. This is the work you got to put in to be in a relationship. It's all of this like there's belief systems, and God's trying to essentially invalidate that biological program because it's not actually a representation of who you are. God's trying to say, hey, like that's not actually who you are. So let's put you in conflict where that's what's coming up. But the solution is to act as your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go through that experience, it's very excruciating. It's tough. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's confusing because you don't know what's what, because both your body and soul to you are just you.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to differentiate that out. And I think it's impossible to differentiate that out without an external benevolent intelligence, without God.
Mm-hmm.
And God's poking you right in your pain spot and going, look at this. This is what's happening in your reality right now. It's already right in front of you. And you have the opportunity to act as yourself, as the soul, and prove to your body that that works better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can become that. So there's this whole thing that plays out in life. And that's essentially our whole paradigm of growth and how we think about growth. So in a world like that, where's the role for mentorship? Like, what is the role for mentorship, right? Like you always say, like, well, you don't need us. And that's true. That has to be true.
Yeah.
Because the actual thing that's going to make you grow is happening to you already. It's just unbearably hard to face.
Mm-hmm.
And any like roadmap for you to become more of your soul has to come externally from God.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the guidance is coming through your intuitive channel.
Yeah.
So what's the role of mentorship? And that's the thing that I was kind of hashing out here in this like very long thing that I'm not going to read right now.
No?
I don't think so. I think it's too long.
Well, I don't know. Start us off.
Can I make this bigger? I'll just squint. I don't know if I can make this bigger. Well, but that's why I was summarizing. Lots of this is already just kind of summarizing.
Do you want to start at the beginning though?
You want me to actually just read through this whole thing?
Well, I'm not opposed. I like when you read. I like your writing.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
This is
not
cool.
that long.
Well, and it helps us. It's helpful.
To hash things out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm going to actually read this, I do need to make this a little bit bigger.
Text? No.
View, zoom in. Oh, shift, command, plus. What a weird. Shift, command, plus.
Oh.
Weird.
Real big.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You wrote this at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was journaling.
Wow.
That's been my past week.
2 a.m. journaling?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't sleep.
And then how'd you sleep?
I go downstairs. I didn't last night. Did I?
No, the night before you did.
The night before I came back, yeah.
Didn't even notice.
Last night I just passed out because I was still thinking about this. So then I just wanted to kind of lay in silence, and then I passed out. But yeah, this is my note from the other conversation, and this whole thing is a whole other thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been writing a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah, just hashing things out. But then this was a piece of it.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Our mentorship modality.
You got to make it bigger.
Yeah, what the fuck? What happened?
It's too small. There we go. Whoa.
I'll make it really big. There we go. I don't know. I didn't edit this. I mostly wrote this for me, but that's fine. Your growth is between you and reality. You can basically be anything you want. You can mimic behaviors of experts and get essentially any result you want in life. Money, power, romantic relationship, community, fame. It's all a formula. Personal development figured this out. So if you hire someone who has a life you want, they can help you be more like them and you'll get to experience more of their life. The problem is you're not them. And what you quickly realize is you don't want their life. You want your best life. What is that? They can't help you get that with formulas and strategies and worksheets. Personal development gurus that teach you how to act can only help you become more like them and get more of what they have. What if you don't want what they have? What if you want the life that calls to you, that deepest feeling inside of you? That feeling, that's your soul. And if you want to become yourself as a soul in this world, no one can give you a roadmap for that. That kind of growth requires divine intervention. The issue is your body runs these programs of belief and habit that have predetermined trajectories. That's not you as the soul, but it's inside of your own experience, which means you have to see through yourself, find out what your body's running, find what your soul truth actually is, and act on that. Without God bringing you into conflict inside of the actual experience of life, you can't tell the difference between you as the body and you as the soul. It's all you. It's far too fucking difficult to differentiate yourself from yourself without God, an external benevolent intelligence stepping in and saying, look at this set of circumstances. See how you're terrified about money and feel compelled to make decisions that run counter to that deepest knowing in you? Welcome to your evolutionary edge. That fear isn't real. If you defy that fear, you'll become more of yourself as the soul. Why? Because you'll have lived experience that your biological programming is verifiably false. It didn't happen the way you feared. And so you can now be certain that your soul truth is indeed safe in this sort of circumstance. Without that experience and without God bringing your attention directly to the heart of that conflict, you have no chance of knowing what's your body versus your soul. Your evolutionary edge is already playing out in your circumstances, in your physical experience. It's not an e-course somewhere online. You're living it. That's the only kind of growth that transforms your being into more of yourself as the soul and transforms your life into a representation of your truest soul essence. That kind of growth you absolutely cannot get by modeling someone else's behavior. That kind of growth only comes through that divine intervention inside of your experience. That's the landscape we're talking about mentorship inside of. And that's why we don't have a roadmap for you or anyone else. We don't tell you how to meditate, how to manage your finances, how to act around people, what kind of clothes to wear, how to talk or hold yourself, what kind of thoughts you need to think, or what kind of expression you need to have. All we care about is whether you're engaged with your reality, the often excruciatingly challenging conflict that's actually relevant to your growth here. Now, to be clear, even when we're in a one-on-one mentorship role, we're not the ones facilitating your growth or telling you what to do. That divine intervention, the only source of soul growth, isn't us. It can't be us. And that means we aren't the gatekeepers of ultimate truth, nor do we have the final say on what God is showing you in your life. Your growth and the decisions you make are between you and God. So the first and a very useful question is, if God's facilitating that soul growth in the experience of what's already happening, is any kind of mentorship ever valuable ever? It's a good question because a large majority of the time the answer is probably not. The way the large majority of programs and courses are sold is by preying on insecurity and selling false utopias. The harsh reality here is that the discomfort you're feeling in your life is not just going to go away. It's not going to pass. And there's not a perfect, joyous life that feels great all the time that's going to come save you from that suffering. There are no 7 steps to get you to that life, and not a single product in the world that can give you that roadmap. When mentorship is promising you quick relief and a life that feels good all the time, it's a fucking lie. You have to understand that personal development and spiritual marketing is manipulative and based on a lie, that it's going to solve all your problems, that someone else knows better for you because there's something wrong with you that you can't figure out on your own. The reality is you don't need a mentor to grow in a positive direction in life. You absolutely don't need someone to tell you what to do. And that means you also don't need us. Our mentorship isn't a fast path to feeling better all the time because that doesn't exist. No mentorship can make you feel better all the time. But if we accept that series of hard truths, there's still a time and place for mentorship, and it's legitimately helpful when done right. The idea is this. Miriam and I have a connection to God. You have a connection to God. God is the source of your evolutionary conflict. We aren't in your body, but we're connected to the same source of guidance as you are. That means we can check in for you, about you, and help you sort you through your conflict from the outside. Your soul truth is the same guidance we can feel in our own connection to God. Your body's programming and the intense emotional cloud that makes everything so confusing and disorienting, we don't have that. We have our own misperceptions in our own bodies, but they're not the same as yours. Which means if we all sit down and pull data from God, we can land on the deeper soul truth that's already there in your experience. Here are some implications of that. One, Miriam and I aren't special or holier than the rest of the world. We're just a decade into this skill set, and we've gotten very good at leading people back to their soul truth and unwinding the emotionally charged biological conflict. We haven't seen anyone doing this. It's certainly our unique style of mentorship as far as I'm concerned, but theoretically, other people could absolutely do this. As long as someone has a clear intuitive channel to God, this could very likely be taught as a modality, but we haven't really considered how we'd go about that. Two, the other implication, you'll likely get there anyway. Our role isn't about creating results from thin air. Our role is to make the conflict easier to bear emotionally, less confusing and faster. We expedite what's playing out in reality. It still has to play out in reality. You still need the lived experience. But the time it takes to bring that conflict to the forefront of your mind and articulate what's happening is drastically shortened. And if we get to something that's really difficult and that clarity leads to a different decision that keeps you from a long detour, an unaligned relationship or job, then we're talking about the entire duration of that timeline saved, months, years. So is mentorship useful? In this capacity, I think so, absolutely. But it has to be clear, just understood as a foundation of that mentorship, that the growth itself is between you and reality. It's between you and God. Can we help make that more comfortable and less confusing? Yes. Can we help make progress go faster by reaching those conclusions more quickly? Yes. Does expediting that evolutionary process make more soul expression possible in a lifetime? Yes. Do you need it? No. Is it for everyone in every chapter of life? No. Are there moments where the guidance from God is specifically toward mentorship in a particularly confusing or challenging evolution? Of course. If you say no to mentorship, does that mean you can't do it on your own with God in your own experience? Of course not. Mentorship, ideally, isn't about showing you how to act, what to say, or what to do. It's about finding someone whose connection to God you trust and sitting down for an in-depth conversation that can take hours, where the whole point is to decipher what exact evolution God is pressing you into in your own experience already. It can be a fairly uncomfortable process to sift through all that emotion, but when you hit that deep soul truth, there's a wave of peace, a feeling of completion, and this sense of, oh, okay, I get it now. I'm all set to face this aspect of my life in a new way. After the call, it's back to you and God, just with a little more context, a little more clarity, and a little less confusion and unbearable emotional tension. You make new decisions in actual reality, you grow, life progresses, and the next wave of circumstances start rolling in. The next top priority from God for your liberation from biological misconception and into the fullest expression of your soul.
Damn. I could never write that at 2 a.m. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
2:05.
That's crazy. That is so good. 2:05 a.m.
So yeah, this is what my brain was doing at 2 a.m.
That's awesome.
I was trying to hash all this out because we've talked about all of this in different settings.
The people are chatting.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Emil says that was really good.
Oh,
Thank you.
Emil's my arch nemesis right now. Emil, you're on the chopping block.
You missed the other live, but Nick said that he sends you all of his comics from our live with bees, and really only you. And we don't even get them.
Mm-hmm. So you're in hot water,
but not as much hot water as Nick.
Yeah, Nick's getting canceled from featured creators.
No, we just want them too. They're so fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
They're so cool.
Emil says, "Oh yeah."
Hey, Danny.
Hi, Dan.
Hello. Oh, there's 4 people here. Just
Yeah.
nobody's saying hello.
Well, I know. I think Ben and Emily are here. I'm assuming.
Oh, really?
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Maybe.
Or maybe they're, I don't know, eating dinner. I don't know what they're doing.
Multitasking. But yeah, that's what I got.
That was really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, that explains it so perfectly.
So, okay, where my brain's going.
But now it makes me want to do a group mentorship, like aside from inner solidity. Like it makes me want to have like a little pod of people and like get in there and help. Not too many.
I know.
Not too many. But just like a squad, maybe 4.
And what's really interesting to me, right, is like even when we're teaching concepts or even when we're doing this, like we're pulling from a sort of collective field that's doing this exact same thing. That's always our goal.
Right.
We're trying to articulate people's next evolutionary edge, or the things that are difficult that they're grappling with. And it always starts off kind of sticky.
Yep.
And then we slowly kind of get in there. We end up talking about money or fear or whatever it is. And then by the end, we can feel the completion like in the field.
Yep.
So we're doing this in kind of a group setting too.
Yep. And when we're bringing stuff through too, they often are like, oh yeah, I was kind of thinking that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, that's your fucking truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's your fucking soul squawking.
Mm-hmm.
It's a soul squawk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought that was a cool way to describe it. Miriam and I have a connection to God. You have a connection to God. God's the source of revolutionary conflict.
Right.
But we aren't in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And we have our own shit. Like we're not like the holy oracles.
No.
That are like, since we are healed, we shall heal the world. That's like
we came back.
Or like the bodhisattva.
Yeah, David and I don't really need to be here, but
we could have ascended into rainbow light bodies because we have no karma. But we've decided to stick around because you guys are so fucked up.
Yes, that's us. That's us.
No, I hate that shit.
I know.
And that's what most of the industry is that kind of like weirdly arrogant, like, I got it figured out, guys. I figured this shit out. And I think that's what to me feels sticky and difficult about doing teaching videos is like, I don't know how to talk about concepts and things that we've explored and things that I believe to be true without like the slipping into that like expert teaching professor like boring ass archetype.
Right.
There's a few different there. Boring is just a whole different thread. But that like,
I don't think it's boring.
That holier than thou spiritual guru.
Right. Well, there's a lot of posturing that goes into that.
I know.
But I think what's clear is we're an expert on the second paradigm. We're an expert on our body of work.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're really good at that.
And I think we're really good at our mentorship modality.
Yes.
At this.
Yes.
Which I don't see anyone doing.
No.
But because nobody has the same worldview as us, right? Like they do think in terms of results. Like how can I get my clients the results that they're looking for? What are the results they're looking for? They're looking to make $5,000 a month, or they're looking to make 5 figures a month, like $10,000. Great, we can do that. So like, how do we do that? Well, let's think of the business strategy, right? They're like, this is what you have to do to run a business. So I'm going to tell them to do this. And then if they do this, they'll get this result. And that's true. But what nobody talks about is that you then feel dead and hollow inside and that it's not actually what you're looking for. Like that's a real problem.
Right.
And I think most of the second paradigm is kind of built around that problem. That's where the whole spiritual journey starts, is there has to be more to life than this.
Yeah.
And our claim is like, yeah, no fucking shit. Of course there's more to life than this.
Yeah.
Like, have you, like your soul, have you thought about that at all?
Yeah. And I think we've defined things in ways that other people haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. Around God too. And what God is.
Yeah.
And how light functions.
Right. And how life actually works. And the false utopias, I think that's a big one. I think acknowledging that darkness is real I think that's a big one. People don't want to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Or if you are acknowledging that darkness is real, it's because it's the darkness in you that you have to overcome.
I
Like it's
know.
this whole
It's like the shadow.
uh-huh.
That's very different than
your
darkness.
shadow self.
Yeah.
But like to actually, I don't know, just question things on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I look out at other spiritual teachers, if I guess I were to like see myself as their peer, which first of all, insulting to them because they're like, I don't want this bitch being my peer, but they'd never call me a bitch, but they'd think it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other, I don't, it's like, yuck. I don't like what they're teaching. I don't like what they're saying. I don't like how they come across. Like the feeling's mutual. Like everything they don't like about me is exactly what I don't like about them.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of like a channel, like a new age channel getting up at like a Christian convention and like trying to do their thing. Or like a bunch
Like
of Christians going
place.
to like an 11/11 fucking moon ceremony.
Oh yeah, or like the Lionsgate portal.
Yeah, like I feel that different from both of them.
Yes, agreed. I totally agreed. I know I didn't actually watch this podcast, but there's a podcast, Next Level Soul. And I saw the thumbnail recently that said something about like, I don't know, everybody's going to be shifting into a new vibration or.
Yeah, this time's for real, everybody.
And it's just like, oh, we're still going with that. I remember that's what annoyed me about astrology and like energy forecasts and like all those updates. Cause it's like, oh, it's hard right now, but it's going to be easier next month. It's like, it's the false utopias. It's like giving people a sense of false hope. Yeah. It's bananas to me. Emil, I'm going to have dinner. I may be back later.
Oh, Danny was falsely inflating our view count by hopping on her phone while listening on the TV. So there was actually only 3 here.
Okay, Danny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben tuned out once he got called out by Nick.
Mm-hmm. Too much. Too intense. Emil, I'm curious what you're having for dinner. Is this a family dinner? Are you cooking?
It must be a family dinner.
Are you eating your dad's sourdough?
Mm.
It's still light out and it's 7:00. That's cool.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I think this is really cool. I think it's good to talk about and hash out and think about. And
yeah, I know. This is what I do. It's the kind of stuff that I feel like I always need to get clear on.
Oh yeah, this is why you ran away last night after we watched. What did we watch? Millionaire or whatever on Netflix. Where everyone
the Millionaire's
lies.
Secret or something.
Yeah, where everyone lies to each other and you have to guess who has the money.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty fun.
It was good. I like shows like that, like psychological manipulation, dark arts. I don't know. I like it. It's like The Mole, or there was another one, The Vault. I think there was like a Korean one too.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah,
it was called The Devil's Plan.
Oh, that was good too. Yeah. But yeah, not that you ran away, but you were like, I feel like antsy. You're like, I'm gonna go right, and then you never came back.
Yeah, that's probably when I started. Yeah, I wrote a bunch.
And you were like, my love, you're falling asleep. It was like 5 minutes left of the episode where the grand reveal. So you
and then and you're like snoring.
Oh, that's so not attractive. As your new wife.
Oh, it's fine. I don't care.
I should do mouth taping.
I'm not thinking about how attractive you are at like 10 p.m. when you're sleeping and it's nighttime. I'm not like, oh my God.
I know, but the other morning I was like, hey, can you roll over? You're breathing in my face. You were annoyed, rightfully so.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think if you get that quiet, you have to get like right up on the mic.
Hey.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Because there was a point where it'll just cut you out.
You're breathing in my face. Can you roll over? I mean, I could have rolled over, but I was comfortable. I didn't want to roll over. I could have rolled away from you. But yeah.
Yeah. This is a story,
just to talk
to demonstrate how mean you are to me?
Yes. So everyone knows. No, I don't know. Just sleeping. I don't know why I'm telling the story.
That's funny. That's funny.
to show how mean I am.
But
Well,
yes,
because you
anyway,
said I
he fell
snore.
asleep. No, the whole point of this is you fell asleep and I went down to write.
Yes.
And I've been thinking about videos mostly, about
Mhm.
content. Because I think I'm starting to transition in my mind from like wanting to do teaching videos and lay out concepts to wanting to show what the second paradigm is through our life and through stories and through things that like feel like what we're talking about.
Right. And I think pieces of that have felt really hard because we're living at my mom's and it's not like pretty or decorated the way like I would fully want it. It's messy. Like we're in my childhood room. Our bedroom's not, our bedroom is our studio. And I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, we're in it right now.
We're kind of cramped. But it's like the only place. It is big. We have like privacy though. To be able to have these conversations. We could set up a studio on the second floor, but it's not
too open.
Yeah. So I don't know. So showing like the imperfections of life and like the reality of our life.
Yes.
It feels like vulnerable in some ways.
It does.
And like our dirty ass carpet that's got like paint and marker. I mean, this carpet is literally 40 years old. That's bananas.
And I mean, we can redo it. I know how to do all of this stuff, but we just haven't.
No.
We've been more so focused on the rest of the house.
Yeah, we've been working our way up, I guess. So we accidentally redid the bathroom vanity up on the second floor. It was not intended, but that's how it went. David found a free sink at the thrift store and then it didn't fit. But we were already we were in it. We were too in.
Yeah, our sink had a big crack in it. So when I took it out to then put in the sink that didn't fit well, the sink was just very obviously cracked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to work. And I was like, well, I'll just change out the faucet. And then I started taking the faucet off of the crack sink and it just started crumbling.
Because the faucet was holding the cracks together.
Yeah.
So then we had to go out and get a new vanity.
Which is fine.
It is fine. But
it's nicer.
It is. It's much nicer.
But now you want
bigger.
to redo the whole bathroom.
Of course. Of course.
I know that's how it works once you get it started.
I know. Because then I'm like, oh, this flooring.
I know.
And
I would like to do the flooring in here. I think that would be nice.
Next.
I don't know. Next. I don't think it would be much.
Cost wise or time wise? Both. We have
Time-wise,
to move
it
out
would be
all
quite
this
a bit.
shit.
Well, we'll just have to move it to the side for a bit and then lay it down and
move it back.
I could probably do it like that if I need to.
But anyway, sharing these other pieces that aren't so glamorous feels challenging. Like I feel like I'm pretty honest, but I can also feel that there's a look to social media.
Yeah.
Just at large.
Well, yeah. And that's how you do it, right? Like that's how you present a life that other people wish they had so that other people want to be like you, so that other people will listen to you, teach how to be like them. Like those are all the social media grooves. That's all the marketing grooves.
Yep.
And I think that's why I want to get clear on like our modality and our ways of thinking and like how to think about all of this. Because I feel like I'm an expert enough on spirituality in the way that we see it and in our worldview. Like I can answer most questions on how the world works from the second paradigm perspective.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
But like, I kind of want to be like, I don't know. I want it to be acknowledged that I like don't know shit about reality because none of us do.
Right.
And that's not a groove, really.
No.
Like, hey, like I'm just exploring like you, and I have a lot figured out for the things I care about. Like I've specifically about spirituality, intuition, channeling. I've thought about this stuff a lot for a long time. So I know a lot about it, but like, I don't know a lot about everything. And I don't know a lot about like the best way for you to live the best life. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's this like absurd degree of authority that's given to people that I don't particularly want.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to run the second paradigm as a business without that,
Right.
because that's how the industry functions.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So it's like, if we don't do that, then what is it, right? And then there's like, we can go the whole like, hey guys, thanks for supporting us, so we can keep making these videos and talking about the spiritual journey. But we can go that route, right? And just like,
Yeah, but that always feels phony.
I know, yeah, sure.
Even when people do it, I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Support me on my Patreon so I can keep making these videos.
I know.
It's just like,
So that's what I'm thinking about, right? Is like, what function do we perform in people's lives? Because I think we can share what we're sharing, and I think over time we'll grow.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, with these people that are finding us and that resonate with us and what we're doing, like, what do I really want to do with them? Like, how do I really want to help them? Because I know we can make courses, and I know we can fucking present ourselves in a fucking captivating, authoritative, expert manner. But like, if we don't do that, then what? And like, what does that all look like? I think that's something that I'm always kind of thinking about. Just the second paradigm in general, like what it really, really, really wants to be, and how we relate to that, and how we get to show up to that as real as possible always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I know. And I see us both having very different roles.
What do you mean?
For people. Well, you lay out the context and the understanding, and then I like bash them on the head and cheerlead them on and love them. And my love is conditional. If you're doing a good job, then I love you. And if you suck, then I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. And you kind of know you're off track when Miriam's not engaging with you. You're like, that's funny. Shit. It's not like a tactic. It just kind of happens. I'm like, oh, I can't really say anything to this person right now. Ugh. And I don't. But then like when you're right on the money, I'm like, yeah. Keep going. Like next video in our community, like, yes, more of that. That was awesome. That was great. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Feel like the soul cheerleader. So yeah, I don't know how it looks or
I don't know either.
What it transforms into.
I know we're good at mentorship.
Oh yeah.
And I know we can do groups, and I know we can do one-on-one, and I know we can hop on the phone with people, and we can always help, and we can do that, right?
Yeah. The one-on-one stuff isn't satiating enough though for me. Like I can.
What do you mean?
Like the one-offs, like just
the one-off. Yeah.
Just like a call hopping. Like it's like,
Get it.
I like the consistent touch points, and I like really getting in there. And I like when you're like living your life and updating me on all of it. Like I love that.
Yeah, you like more so like proper containers that last for periods of time. Yeah, this fly is just loose. It just comes down on its own. I'm not leaving this down.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it goes down like halfway.
Those are the same jeans as yesterday.
Yeah. I know, I've realized that it just gets loose and then it comes down. It's one of those.
Caught my eye. Your teal underwear.
Oh, my underwear was showing through? That's crazy.
But you can't
Good
see
thing I was wearing them.
You can't. That's true. Just commando on the live stream.
No, I'm always wearing underwear.
With your, yeah, that's true.
I'm not really a commando kind of guy.
No, it's not your jam. Underwear and t-shirt to bed. Yep.
No socks.
No socks, no.
Can't do it.
Yeah. I like having a proper container. Yeah, you're right. And I like it open-ended. Like I don't care. Like, people do like contracts and, you got to sign up for, like, that's so annoying to me. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
I know.
you work with me and us until you don't. Like, cancel whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're free to leave. There's
Mm-hmm.
no stipulations. There's no fine print. It's
Mm-hmm.
there's no tricks.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the place that we ended up in. We used to always try to make it more official, like, oh, well, we'll do this for 6 months, or here's this programmer. And when it's like a group thing, it is a little different usually.
Mm-hmm.
But that's always the best when it's just like, oh yeah, we can keep going. Let's just keep going until it feels obvious that it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And there is always an obvious
Yep.
point where it's done.
Yep. Yeah. And it's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like the way we do things.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like we're walking our talk. Like, truly.
Yeah. And I think our like mentorship containers and all of that stuff for me is pretty easy. Like that's all just
You
that's
shine
what
really
we've been doing.
bright in that setting.
Like that's all structure that we already know how to do. And we're still doing with like
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like our inner circle. We pulled lots of stuff off of
Mm-hmm.
public facing. We don't really offer any public facing mentorship right now.
I know, but I'm wondering, is there like a little opening?
Well, there will be, right? And that's kind of what I'm thinking. And that's like the place, truthfully, where I go is this is what I was hashing out yesterday.
More notes. I love the inner workings.
The place
of
where I
David's
go
brain.
is like YouTube as one of the like main.
This is really small, huh? I'm in Disquint.
Basically, there's YouTube, which is like our kind of forward facing, like more storytelling. Like that's the thing that we're doing. Like showcasing and normalizing intuitive living.
Yeah.
And what I was realizing when I was laying there last night, right before I went to bed, let me see if I can find it again. YouTube just feels like a place where we get to bring people's attention to that inner rightness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even
That's
like,
cool.
here's how you hear it, and here's how 5 ways to get that inner rightness to be. It's not any of that. It's just like we want to make content that highlights that inner rightness and just draws your attention to it and normalizes that as like a real and functioning thing.
I love that. That's true.
And I think that's if
what
we
we've
can
been
do
doing,
that,
I think,
I know, I
between
think so
your
too.
recent video and my diary, whatever the heck they're called, video
just
diaries.
what that feeling of rightness is.
That's cool.
And I think the more we talk about it, the more we highlight it and like show our life and that we're always looking for it, listening to it, I think that does something. So I think YouTube, like that may be, at least for right now, one of its main functions. And then I was thinking, then we have our free resource library inside of the community, and we have the community itself. And that's a little bit more, like you get to see a little bit more into our work. Like you get to see the things that we've been building and like the docs and me channeling and our ideology. So we have that. And I want to update that at some point, but not now. I always want it to be more comprehensive, but I've felt that way perpetually forever. And I don't know when that feeling will resolve.
I don't think it will.
Yeah. I just always want it to be more and better.
Yeah. That's
But we do have it, and it's more than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Certainly. There's actually a lot in there.
Yeah.
Then I think our current kind of group, I imagine, will transition. It's the exact same thing, but just like more formally as basically like an alumni style group of just something that's like pulled off of the rest of the second paradigm. It already is. It's already invite only. It's already private. It's already, you can't really get in at all.
We're already a cult.
And that's where we do that's where we have our live events. That's where we have like, they have access to all of our offerings that nobody else has access to. They see more. We post more there. Yep. We have like a chat. Like that's our own kind of little bubble of people who have been with us for like years now.
Yeah.
It's not like a recent thing. And it feels important to keep pushing the edges with them because they've been around this whole time, and everything new that we're kind of going through and pushing on our end, those things aren't really relevant to talk about. Like, it's so subtle. It's so in the depths of the subtlety.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, when you trust your intuition exclusively and you have it completely refined out and you feel called to build something in the world and you feel this way, it's like we can't make videos about that. And it's so unrelatable. Yeah. When our forward facing stuff is like, hey, do you recognize that there's this inner rightness at all? Like it seems like what our core public message is, at least for now.
That's what it's been in real life, like with neighbors and people and
100%.
like physical conversations with people in the flesh.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. It's not.
So I think that's kind of the central theme of what the second paradigm is to most people. And when people find us, I want that to be like at the forefront kind of always.
Yeah, that's great.
But then then it's like, okay, we have our group that we've been doing all this stuff with for a long time. And then we just have YouTube and we have some free resources. And I think there's a gap in there of like, okay, so for the people who are like wanting to dive deeper at some point, which there's some people who would, if we were to launch something right now, there's a few people that would join. But it doesn't feel like it's quite time, or like, I just don't feel it yet. But what I do feel coming generally is something like intuitionOS University. And exactly what that looks like, I think there are multiple, like, I think that means more than like a course. I think it's an umbrella term for that. And I do think it is us teaching, and it is us walking through concepts. And I think there's mentorship involved in it. I think it's probably group mentorship, but also, I think also they'll be able to book one-on-ones. And it's like, actually, okay, like let's study intuition as an operating system. Let's study what this looks like in your own experience. Let's walk through it. Let's like differentiate what body versus soul is. Let's differentiate like light versus dark. Let's talk about all this stuff, because there are conversations that have to be had at some point. And there's no one out there that has a framework that helps make sense of what intuition is.
Right.
Like there's just none. There's nothing out there. So unless we're going to walk through it, it's not going to exist.
Right.
And unless we have it outside of just our people who have already been through it when we did all that before, then we're never going to be able to help beyond just the people who have been with us the whole time. So it's like when there's, at some point, I would like to have another wave of teaching. And I don't know exactly where that all fits, but it feels like it comes out of the community, still in our Mighty Networks in all likelihood, and is probably called intuitionOS University. And I think there's teaching elements in there, probably some mentorship in there, but it's not quite here yet. It's just still kind of pending. I think still what's more here is videos and kind of building out that new lane of expression. And even the fact that that's a new thought, that I want our videos and our creative expression to highlight that rightness as like the core theme.
That's really cool.
I think that's even telling at like how early stages we are in actually wanting to do something public. Because for a long time, it's just, we've been able to have things be public without being public for a very long time. And it's only been this last year that we've had to close everything and make it private to maintain that. It was really from the Law of One video where we're like, okay, we have to actually close this down now because people are discovering us.
Yeah.
But public for us has always meant, okay, if you're around right now, like 5 years ago, you can come along with us while we build all of this. And if you want to dip at any point, that's totally fine. But like no one else is really going to be around.
Right.
And if someone else is going to try to be around, we probably have nothing for them because we're not stopping. We're just trying to push the furthest edges of our own work and map it all and build this into a comprehensive, intuitive operating system. And like build our modality, get good at mentorship, get good at like pulling through someone else's soul guidance on this end to affirm it. It works, it functions. You wouldn't think it works if you were like a secular retarded person, but it does function.
True.
So this is like the first kind of chapter of our life where I'm like, I've always wanted this, but this is the first chapter of our life where I'm like, okay, what would it actually look like to actively, like right now, not just cognitively, this would be cool, build something publicly, a public second paradigm. We've never had it.
That's true. Yeah. And like all the wrong people, not all wrong, but 99% of people were wrong from the Law of One video.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they didn't look more into the second paradigm in our body of work. I mean, it's still getting traction and views and comments. It's so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's watching this?
mean, people who like the law of
I
one are
know,
watching it,
just
which is the issue, right?
yeah,
That's the issue,
it's
because the
so
video is on why it's terrible.
and that's offensive to those
Well,
people.
yeah,
But they always are like, with love.
yes,
It's so funny.
It's so good that you found your own truth that's different than my truth. That's like half of the comments. I want
know.
to celebrate you for speaking your own truth while I have love in my heart for you. Like, fuck. Just leave. Just say you don't like it.
I know.
Or
Just give us a
go and
thumbs
say nothing.
down. Just thumbs down. Just thumbs down.
I know, it's funny.
Yeah. And then it's funny. I like a more recent comment. I went and looked and I was like, oh, homeboy hasn't even, he like has in his description that he's gonna like, hey, bear with me while I get my YouTube channel up and going. And he started it in 2000.
And by homeboy, you mean a random person that commented that you looked into.
Yeah, because I was like, well, what's he producing? What's his content? What's his perspective? What's his worldview? What's his body of work that he's worked on?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that's most people. It's nothing. Especially the ones that leave the dumb comments.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you create something then. Give me something to click on. But anyway, yeah, that Law of One video took off in a way that I did not like.
I liked it.
What, that it took off or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather like our.
Oh, I know, but we do have our perspective in there to some degree.
I mean, it's mostly me just making fun of everything you tell me.
Yeah.
Which is really offensive to those people.
Yeah. I think that lane is still very helpful.
Well, yeah, because the people that are teetering, that are like, you know what, I've always had this weird feeling about the Law of One. Yeah, then you end up finding what we're saying refreshing.
Yeah, one lady found our video, watched it, and then said she was going to burn all of her books.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good. That's what we like to hear. Fucking burn those bad boys.
Burn a Rama.
Raw, ma. I am raw. Yeah, I know. It's fine. I don't know. It's just not my preferred.
Yeah,
my preferred way.
I get it.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Andrew Duddy.
I found your criticisms and objections fair.
Well,
that's good. That's good.
Not only are they fair, they're right. So welcome. Thumbs down this video if you need to.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. This whole industry is just dog shit, and I wish it wasn't. I wish people thought through things more, but there's no room to.
No. I know. I've said this before, but even thinking back when I was in the whole New Age pocket and like friends with all those people, and they were like, oh, Miriam, like, really shouldn't be listening to my neck, my back, lick my pussy and my crack. I'm like, I love this song. What do you mean? It's like,
yeah, and they're like foot's tapping too, and they know every word. They're like, I don't know.
No,
just isn't.
It's low vibe. Is that really what you want to be manifesting in here? I'm like, yeah, actually, it fucking is. That's exactly what I want to be manifesting.
Have you read these lyrics?
I mean, how do you think I met David? I could have that song on repeat. But it's just weird. It's like there were so many rules on how you had to be and what you could listen to, what you couldn't listen to. And then like on top of that, then the business side came in. And it's like, well, did you get their credit card over the phone before they hung up? I messed up all my words there. It's like, no, she's going to call me back later. Well, you should really call her back, because if you don't secure the credit card over the phone, it's like, who cares? Like, then we're just not going to work together. I don't know. Then homegirl got cold feet. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But like, it was so like messy, and like everything contradicted itself. And people say they go with the flow, but they're not. People say things are aligned when it's dollar signs, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so much of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've landed in this really cool place where like we trust. Like if it's supposed to be, then it will be. And that's it. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just cool. There's like so much more peace in my life.
Yeah, when I zoom out, I really appreciate what we have done and built, because we found a way to opt out of all of the bullshit of New Age spirituality that everyone knows is bullshit. Like when they're really, really honest with themselves, they're like, yeah, this fucking community is a little crazy, and like they can reach that point, but like there's no way to then go, oh yeah, but like the metaphysical substrate of reality, like the energetic underbelly of reality that we're all still feeling here, that's still real.
Right.
Like New Age is bullshit. Manifestation's bullshit. This like positivity movement is just like toxic weird. It's like the unicorn from the Lego movie. Like that's like it's dumb. It's a bad way of being that doesn't work. It's trained bipolar. Trained fucking mental illness. That doesn't work, but I still have this inner feeling deep inside, and I have to trust it. Like that's still real. And when you cut out all of the spirituality and just have that left, you end up in a much better place. And I don't see anyone that stayed spiritual that left spirituality, if that makes sense. Like it's the easiest swing is like, I knew that stuff was dark, but now I realize that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I'm going to be a Christian. Like that's the easiest swing.
Yeah.
Or like back to God.
Well, look what Andrew said. I'd never heard of what happened to Dawn before. That shit was crazy. Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying, Andrew.
Yeah.
I went through the New Age scene and found myself back at square one with just more baggage. None of those New Age people have anything figured out.
Very true.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You're right. Do people call you Drew Duddy? Just wondering for the DD. Oh, but I'm making your last name Druddy, but it's Duddy. Drew Duddy. Yeah, I said it right. Hearing myself is throwing me off a little bit.
I know, it's hard.
I have like a new speech impediment. I can hear myself.
Yeah, it's like this is a thing that it maybe if the delay was a little bit more, we couldn't talk. It's a the speech scrambler, right? Doesn't it just plays you back at a slight delay?
Yeah.
Yeah. The delay is so slight.
When I did my song, that fucked me up. I had to keep one headphone off.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't. But this is a little easier than singing.
Yeah. Nope. Andrew or Duddy or both together.
Okay.
How about and Duddy?
Duddy. No, he's not a Drew. It's all right. You might be here. I don't.
Well, around here we either call you Drew or and Duddy.
That's right. Around these parts.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I do not ask
so many
for
people
consent.
have this fucking experience. I really do.
Yeah, it's very common. Never felt right going back to Christianity, but that
that just leaves you without much to ground into. Exactly. Yeah. And then you just have to trust yourself. And it is so fucking hard to trust yourself because it feels like it's you versus everybody. Like when you're not Christian, it's like, oh, it's me versus like 70% of America. Like it feels scary to be like, well, I don't know if Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior.
I know. I remember I was so uncomfortable saying that. And I said it one time on TikTok. I've since removed the video.
Funny.
And so many people were praying for me. They were like, oh, I'm praying for you. You'll find Jesus.
You'll find it eventually.
I'm like, oh.
Pretty soon you'll realize that his legal stepdad, Joseph, was from the line of David. So if it fulfilled the prophecies, soon you'll see it too. It's like, no, like I've looked into it and it's flimsier than I need it to be.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about the manuscript that was found in like, well, we carbon dated it back to the year 300, but it was written in the year 1. like, fucking maybe.
Who's to say?
Maybe. But even then, like, even if it was written then.
And it's
like,
stored
then
at the
what?
Smithsonian or the Vatican.
Mhm.
Institutions you can trust.
Yeah. Just at the base of all of it, it feels like people believe it because it's the thing to believe. And it's the
Right.
thing that other people believe. And it's, oh, we just all know that that's true. But when you look into anything, and that's the thing I'm landing on more recently than ever, is like everything I look into, I hit the edges of like uncertainty. Like you can look into like astronomy, and then you hit the edges of like uncertainty, and you look into like metaphysics and physics and quantum mechanics, and the way that, and you hit this just wall of uncertainty. Well, it's like, well, what about this? And they're like, yeah, we don't have an answer for that at all. It's like, well, you realize everybody thinks you do, right? Like you realize everybody thinks you know exactly how the Big Bang works and how it all functions and where 13.2 billion years. Like everybody thinks that you know what you're talking about, but then you're still confused. Like you don't know. And like there's just like this, there's this edge of experts who know that they don't know where we are. And everybody looks at them and goes, see, they know where we are.
Yeah.
And it's discouraging, but also a little bit liberating. And I think that's the thing that I've been like reveling in a little bit lately is like that uncertainty is everywhere. And I don't really trust anyone's worldview at all. And maybe it is okay to trust my own experience that my intuition is the voice of God.
Yeah.
That there's a real organizational intelligence that's intelligent, that's guiding reality. And maybe that's actually a thing that all the other like past religions, to the degree that they weren't corrupted, is talking about anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, even geography is uncertain. No one knows what's beyond the Arctic Circle.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah, everything's a probability of being true. Nothing is 100%. Yeah, we don't know shit. We don't know where we came from or where we're going. Yeah, I know. And those are pretty big fucking questions.
I always say that. I'm like, we don't know where we are. We don't know where we are. Is it anybody want to talk about that? No? We're just going to pretend like this is all normal. And like the amount of debt that you're in is just normal. And like, oh, you got to work your soul-sucking job to pay off your debt, to pay for your house that you'll never actually own, and to pay the property taxes. And we're just going to pretend this is all normal. And that we eat like Twinkies and Oreos. They're not even real. It's not food. But we put it in our bodies. And then we feel like, ooh, that jolt of sugar was really nice.
For like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, biologically edited, manipulated food. That's not food. It's like the train, Snowpiercer, which I'm sure we're eating too. It's Soylent Green. Oh, that's a different one.
It's different.
It's all the same thing. All of it, the entire thing that we're living within is made up.
Yeah, Duddy knows.
But
says it's not food. LOL, agreed.
Cool. Yeah, you don't get that from Raw. I'll tell you that. Fucking guy.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Andrew, where are you from? What do you do? Did you grow up religious? That seems to be a common occurrence. It's like, oh, I was an ex-Jehovah's Witness too. I'm not getting J-Dub vibes, but just curious. Just tell us your address.
What is your feeling on the soul trap idea that even the afterlife is compromised?
Philly. I'm in suburban Philly.
An accountant. I make ...
A fuck ton of money? Is that what you're going to say, Daddy? Oh, accountant. That's so boring. It must give you a lot of time to think.
I have to move my mic to see your comment on the screen.
Mm.
I can see it over there.
Wish. Soul trap. I know I've heard people talk about this.
What's the idea? Give me the spark notes.
I think it's that, like, if you get stuck, like your soul's trapped here, like maybe we never actually leave or something like that.
Like trapped here, like on Earth, or like in the Earth, kind of astral
in the
sphere.
Earth. I don't know.
And you can't
I don't
go.
know exactly.
I've wondered something kind of similar.
I like that.
Like, I wonder, like, I could see like a generated sort of reality that you end up in, where like a being comes to you and like pretends to be Jesus, and then like that's it. I could see that working. There's also some talks, like when I read old school kind of esoteric traditions, or like even Rudolf Steiner, the way they talk about the thing they're trying to create, and I see most of those beings as very dark. The thing it seems like they're trying to create is like it's a replica of Earth, but all of the best pieces of Earth. So it's like a heaven, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is an afterlife, but I don't really see that as the goal when you die.
I think you guys are on the same page. The idea that this realm is a false reality, a false light that is coordinated from the moon or some shit. Which made me laugh. Okay. And then a false choice. You are threatened by demons at death and Jesus saves you.
Oh, funny. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
The idea is that this realm is a false reality, a false light that's coordinated from the moon or some shit. My sense is that this thing we're in is originally built by God. Like this reality exists, real-time generated, exists in the mind of God. But like the fact that we live in these like square buildings in the structure of civilization, like the fact that our entire perception of where we are is completely controlled from the top down, that to me seems dark. It's like they created a reality within a reality. But like nature and like the original design of this place and the fact that our souls are in bodies, I think all of that is the design of physical reality. And I think there's other physical realities where that same thing's playing out, where there's not a reality in a reality. And that sort of civilization gets to actually experience what life is in its designed form. And I don't think we do. I don't think we get to experience the collaboration of souls and what we're actually supposed to learn by coming into a body that has different values than us and slowly transitioning back into who we actually are as a soul. And to be in collaboration and in conflict with other souls that have different values so that we can like figure out what works in reality. That thing, I don't think really happens here very much, if at all. We're more so in like this
hijacked
cognitive construct.
Taken by darkness. And then, we live inside of it.
Yeah. Okay. And then
he also said, the afterlife part doesn't make sense. If we all know everything in that space, why the need to come here to suffer and learn?
Yeah, my sense is that there's a deeper meaning and purpose to physical reality at large, but that's not the thing that we're experiencing. We're inside of like a controlled narrative inside of physical reality to get us to make the decision to turn against our actual essence so that we can essentially invalidate God. I think that's the darkness's purpose within this whole thing. They want to essentially say like God isn't a good guider of experience, and that deepest inner knowing will betray you, and you can build something better if you do something else. And maybe together, if we all get together and put our heads together, we can build a utopia. That seems to be what darkness is trying to do here, and we're inside of that. Like this is their utopia that's not the actual design, and it feels wrong. Every element of it feels wrong, and that's how experientially I validate that feeling of, well, this isn't the thing that God wants. This isn't the guidance that we're getting for what civilization should be.
Agreed.
But the afterlife thing is
obvious.
interesting because I do think there's an element of, I don't know this for sure, but I had this feeling before, and I haven't teased it out all the way, and I haven't like asked my channel about it or anything. But there's this feeling that heaven as a concept is like a psyop, and it's like a marketing campaign for their ideal experience, which is to live one in physical realities when they can. I think they would love to make this place their utopia, like their trophy.
Dark beings.
Yeah, dark beings. But I think they also want to have like a sort of like a Valhalla kind of like heaven realm where they get to live inside of the experience of whatever they want all the time. And I think they think that that's actually better than physical reality. Like, my sense is that God, the way that God interacts with our souls is by placing us in these physical realities with other souls. I think that's all part of the design. And there's a lot of stuff that's come through my channel from the very beginning that kind of, it's a huge map of why that might be. But this physical reality that we're in seems to be compromised, and our free will is hijacked, and our decisions are manipulated biologically. But dark beings, they can exist in bodies, and I think dark beings get access to realms like this because it's ideal in some way. Like, I think God gives them direct permission to come in to play things out. I think that's what's still happening here. But I also think that dark beings here are a relative minority. I think most dark beings aren't in bodies because the missions, or like the life openings into a reality, it's given by God. There's this open where it's like, hey, there's this physical reality that like I've constructed. Here's the general sense of what's happening there, and here's your exact role in it. You as a soul are designed to go there, and here's the conflicts that you'll face, and here's how you'll grow as a soul. Darkness's whole philosophy is like, I don't do what God does because God's subpar. So I think darkness ultimately would love to be able to create their own version of a physical reality. And I think that's pretty complicated from an etheric perspective, but it might be something like imagining it. Like, manifestation, weirdly enough, feels kind of possible in that realm. Like, you can exist inside of a sort of a self-generated reality. I think that's probably possible. So I do wonder if they're trying to collectively create, given through all of the collective dark experience in physical reality, if they're trying to create the best possible version of existence, and they're trying to exist inside of that instead of God's physical reality. And to me, that sounds a lot like heaven. And the idea of heaven to me isn't really compelling because I think ultimately when I die, at some point, I don't know what sort of like life review kind of thing. I don't know if I really trust the NDE experience. I don't really know. I have no idea what happens after we die. But my hunch is that at some point there will be an opening, and God, or light itself, the intelligence of light and the guidance that still comes to my soul, me connected to benevolence, will go, hey, there's this other physical reality. This thing's playing out. Do you want to go back in? Not necessarily to Earth, but do you want to go into this experience with these souls, live in this thing? It would be good for you, and it would be good for everyone else involved. And I think seeing the blueprint of that, I'd be like, fuck yeah, of course. That's all I ever want. Because I kind of want that same evolution now in my own life. Like, I don't think that drive is going to go away for the win-win and to experience the goodness of that benevolent intelligence. Like, I don't think that feeling will ever go away. And if it's a place that's not as hard as this, that'd be kind of cool. Maybe it'd be a little bit less rewarding because we could do a little bit less, but it'd also be much more comfortable. You know, it's like, that's the kind of landscape that I think of. So when I do think about like a soul trap, I do wonder that. I definitely do wonder that if like heaven is a psyop, and if that's their realm, and if ultimately our goal is to like reunite with the intelligence that's God, and if they're trying to get in the way of that in some degree, I could see that.
Okay, he has more.
Okay.
So are we trying to create reality to enjoy an experience in this space or somehow get through it to go to a better space? So personal individuated experience is the most important value? Question mark.
So are we, hold on, let me get this back. So are we trying to create reality to enjoy an experience in this space or somehow get through it to go to a better space? I think ideally, I don't think we're creating anything. I
You're
think
good
that's a psyop.
You're good at answering these questions. Andrew, I suck at this, but I can make fun of people with you.
We can gossip, but I suck at this. This is David's special.
I think the idea that our consciousness is physically creating reality through like some quantum entanglement shit, I don't think that's real. I think that's that is a permission slip to use our emotional energy and willpower to brute force push against reality to try to manipulate situations to get what we want. And I think that's how most of our civilization's built, but it runs on emotional energy.
Wait, can you talk a little bit about Rudolf Steiner? I just think it's a good example of the manifesting, creating.
I don't have the thread that you're
okay.
trying to get me to have.
Okay, never mind. Keep going. Just you keep going.
If you want to weave it in though, you can. You
Okay.
have something to talk about.
No, you go.
Okay.
Go.
So my sense is that we can still experience the design of reality for ourselves here because we have access to God directly, like a personal relationship. And the thing we call God it's our conscience, but it's deeper than that. It's our morality, but it's
Deeper than that. Mm-hmm.
And some of our morality is like collectively defined, like responsibility, being a good person. I'm a good friend. Those we call archetypal prisons. But there's just this deep feeling of rightness. And I wish there was a better word for it, but I just don't think there is. There's this deep, deep feeling of rightness we have within us where we know what is right. It's the right decision to make. And it's so personal and it's very conditional. Like it's very circumstantial. It's like it completely depends on what's happening.
Yep.
And sometimes that guidance can change like
updates.
Moments notice where like the guidance is to go and press into this thing, go do this, go apply for this job, go into it. And then like 6 months later, it's like, this is ending now. Did you get the lesson that you were supposed to get from this? Like that was useful until it wasn't. It's adaptive. That to me at scale would be us all living the original design of Earth, the original design of physical reality. There's real purpose in that. And when we follow that intuitive guidance, we're updating our own biology, and we're becoming more of ourselves. And we get to have the experience of becoming our essence in real time, getting closer and closer to who we actually are, and getting to express that into the world, which is unbelievably rewarding. And we learn a lot about ourselves. But we also, I think, update our values as a soul. Like narcissism is a good example because when you're engaged in a abusive or narcissistic dynamic, it doesn't matter if your top value as a soul or as a person is love and compassion and kindness. You can't be that and still have boundaries. You can't be that and not get manipulated. So you have to be something you don't like. You have to be cold and kind of transactional, right? That's what like psychologists call it gray rock. You have to be that. And being that is counter to your essence, but it is the right thing to do. And I think our souls learn from that because we're in this exact circumstance. We develop nuance as a soul and nuance to our values. There's an evolution there where it's like my value is still at the end of the day, loving kindness, like compassion, speaking into things even when it's hard to get to the root of something, and like pushing through like relationship over like preserving the relationship over preserving that sense of comfort. Like it's probably better to go deeper than to just walk away because it'd be more comfortable, right? Like that's still the way my values are. But in this circumstance, with this type of person, when these values come at me, I can't do any of that. So that there's nuance that gets developed into my value system. And I think that extends beyond our life. I don't think that's just biological. Like I think that's a part of the makeup of what we are. And we take that with us forever.
The evolution of our soul.
And because we're also connected to God, it kind of updates God too. So there's an evolution in reality. And if you imagine that at scale, then all of these souls that are slightly different values are updating slightly due to the nuance that's required from these circumstances. And the whole of consciousness and God is evolving into deeper and deeper nuance. There's something really cool and profound and beautiful about that. Values that don't work in practice, I imagine, just sort of fall off. Like at some
Phase
point,
out.
if things didn't work anywhere, it'd be like, okay, well, no soul's going to do this. Doesn't matter if that was your top value before. It's like, oh, this doesn't work at all anywhere.
Yeah. I think of that with the narcissist. Like eventually they just won't exist ideally.
Yeah,
Because
ideally,
it wouldn't work here. But right now we live in an iteration of life where the narcissist thrives. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
They're a dime a dozen.
World, it absolutely functions.
Yeah.
It functions better than anything. Like when you live in this made up world where like the rules are more emotional than they are practical. Like it's more about like, you're such a bad person. That's the punishment. If you're willing to put up with that, if you're willing to just feel the shame or the eyes from other people, you can do anything. Like it's very easy to be a psychopath here and to get away with a lot. And you can actually get very, 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 very ahead. And that's why statistically, right? Like there's a higher percentage of psychopaths among CEOs than among the average American person. It's like that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says you guys are great. Thank you.
Thanks. This is fun.
Yeah, David loves this.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like listening. Oh, I just feel like I suck at it. I have a hard time like getting what they're saying. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, sure. Whatever you think. I don't know. Check in about it. Like, but then you go into the whole teaching. It's cool. I agree, but it's hard to know if certain information is true and they just overload us with information we cannot easily verify. That was in response to something you said earlier.
I don't know what it was a response to.
The new
I don't know what I'm saying.
That's awesome. The nuance is the evolution. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, earlier he said I can believe that the heaven as an everlasting bliss doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either.
Yep. And narcissist is winning, literally.
Yeah, the overarching evolution basically forever makes much more sense to me. Much more sense to me. And kind of like one of our, right, like this is called the second paradigm. The whole idea is that there's the first paradigm, there's two paradigms of existence. And it's basically light and dark. And the way that this information first came through, everything was about the first and the second paradigm. The first paradigm being like the thing that we exist in, and the second paradigm being like another paradigm that we can enter and then kind of evolve into as a species. But that paradigm of darkness, I forget exactly where I was going with this or why.
He left. Dropping out for dinner. Enjoyed your responses. We'll rejoin.
Cool.
In a bit.
That's great.
What are you having for dinner? Emil never told me. He never said.
Well, cool. Good chatting, man. Thanks for popping on.
Yeah, it's great. Oh, so I guess good people do come from a loved one.
I guess so. Proving us wrong, right?
Yeah, it's good.
This is how we can grow and evolve and learn through experience.
Evolution of my soul happening live. live. I hear chicken and mashed potatoes. Nice. That's
Enjoy. Awesome. We got to get dinner too.
Good stuff. I know. It's getting late.
Yeah, it's like 8:00. We haven't eaten yet.
Carrots. Carrots. Oh my God. Our neighbor, we just learned, hates carrots. He went on a whole diatribe about carrots.
Yeah, we were talking for like 5-10 minutes about carrots because his wife wants him to do a 5-day carrot cleanse. And he's like, this is my least favorite food.
He's like, I hate carrots. I can't. And then we were like, well, you're not going to do it, right? He's like, well, I'll have like a sip.
Like, yeah, he's like, I'll try it and see if I can do it because the health benefits. And we're like, whatever. It's crazy.
David's like, this sounds like
people used to think that I was allergic to carrots because I hated it so much. I was like, that might actually make sense, like that your body's rejecting it. And he's like, well, I'll probably still try it and see if I do okay.
Oh my
God.
God.
I don't know if you're gonna get the health benefit.
Repulsed and
Oh, there's a
panicked.
triple-blind, peer-reviewed study.
I know they love the
Mhm.
PubMeds.
Mhm. Everyone does.
Oh,
All right,
cool.
good stuff. This was fun.
Yeah, this is great.
Just chatting
See?
live with David and Miriam. I know this was fun. We did another like short live before this in our community, and I did not want to go live on YouTube. I just didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in a mood, and Miriam was like, "Well, everybody, bookmark this. This is
Mm-hmm.
this is what David feels like." So now I'm going to prove him wrong, and he's going to have such a good time, and he's going to
gonna
talk
have so much to talk about. And here we are.
Well, I didn't know we were going to have Andrew on.
Well, I did. Cool.
I could do this. This would be really fun.
See?
This is one of the things that actually gets me excited about actually trying to grow our YouTube channel over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's because then we can go live and we can have like a bunch of these fucking conversations.
I know.
That's
what I'm
actually very
saying.
exciting to me.
Yes.
Because I would love to talk about like all the nuance of reality. And it'd be very fun. So we'll see.
I know. It's your jam. You love it.
Mhm.
And you're good at it. And
Yeah.
it tracks and people feel truth in it. And then they come back and listen to it again. It's like, what the fuck did he say? That was good. But I don't remember where you said. Yeah. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
I know it's like it's slightly like niche language. Like we've kind of like developed our own words.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to tell what's our language and what isn't sometimes.
I agree.
Because we just talk, this is just how we talk all the time.
And it's very densely packed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're
Yeah.
true. You're right.
But it is fun.
It
Like
is what
it
we
is fun running through it. And I don't know. It's like anything. You just kind of pick up the language and you're like, oh yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Second paradigm, light,
Mhm.
dark. Yeah. Free will being bypassed. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I don't know, but that makes sense. You know,
Mhm. I know.
another time I get into it.
I know that's offensive too when you like tell the Patriots they're not sovereign or free.
Yeah.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
The New England Patriots. The truthers. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of offensive things that we believe.
Yep.
But them being offensive is what makes them hard to believe. Right? It's like all just this truth hidden in plain sight that like emotionally feels like you can't do it. It's like dangerous to believe your actual experience.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you got to believe consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Consensus with reality, which is dark as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That people live within. Wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Emily.
Emily,
you.
this was awesome. Thanks, guys. Didn't know you were here. You could have said something a little sooner. Just feel like we're on our lonesome out here.
I know.
Were you multitasking? What were you doing? Just wondering. This is how we keep engagement up. Just
That's true.
bully
That's
everyone
true.
in the comments section.
You had to tell us what they're having for dinner.
Yeah, what were you doing? Where were you? I know, I'm really hungry. Okay.
Yeah, let's grab something.
Well, let's give her 3 seconds to tell us what she was doing. She'll say it. There's a little delay. But yeah. Are we going to play a Nick?
Are we gonna play? Are we gonna play? I confirmed I was here earlier. It just got lost.
Oh, it did get lost? Bummer.
Mm.
I was doodling.
I was doodling.
What'd you
Wait till
do?
they get a load of me.
That is going to haunt Nick forever.
I think he'll like it.
You think so? I
Maybe.
wonder how Ben feels about it.
I hate it. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, that's awesome. Andrew, careful. If you have any videos online and some good sound bites, we might just
I
clip
know we
you.
might have to put you on our soundboard.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Butterfly, cute. Thanks for tuning in. This has been lovely. Yes, it's been awesome.
Yes, it has. Oh man, that's crazy.
What?
When it's just a little bit,
a little bit
it
deeper.
kind of just just the tiniest bit.
A little sultry.
Yeah.
And if I deepen my voice, sound like a cross dresser.
Yeah,
I know.
you sound weird.
Mm-hmm.
But do I sound normal? Like, does this sound? No, it
It's-
is a little bit deep, huh?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a little bit weirdly deep.
It's more like you're doing that voice disguise, like Ray, the guy from the light system.
Oh yeah.
We should do that. Okay, let's go before
All right, guys.
before I say something else. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo. My neck, my back,
My pussy and my crack. That wasn't an echo. That was just me saying it over and over again. All right, bye.
Bye.